now we're going to go into really our most challenging week so far this year. Maybe the most challenging week that we'll face all season, depending on how the fixtures line up. We've got Bayern Munich on Wednesday. We've got Real Madrid on Saturday. This will be 3 matches, including this one against Sevilla. 3 matches in 6 days for Barcelona. So let me start out with this. Of the 2 matches, Barcelona versus Bayern, Barcelona versus Real Madrid, which one is more important for Barcelona to get the win?
Oh my God.
I know.
You would answer that first, Marka?
I would say there are 2 answers. One is going to be my personal answer, which match I want to see Barcelona win. Mm-hmm. And then which match makes sense. Like if, let's say, we can win only 1 match out of the 2, then which match makes sense to me? See, if let's just say that between both the matches, only 1 match you can win. So it would make sense to win the El Clásico. Okay. It will guarantee your spot at least for some time on the top of the table. So that is going to increase the gap that you have with Real Madrid. Going to put pressure on them. Going to give you some time. Because it's a long season, man. It's a long season. Sure. You can't really let Real Madrid be just 1 or 2 points behind you. You need to have that extended lead over them. So that would make more sense, like technically speaking, from a team's point of view. If you would ask me personally, I would like to see Barcelona win against Bayern Munich. Because I think as a fan, we have seen so much. Like, see, it's more like big games in Champions League are more of a mental block for Barcelona at this point, not just an on-field tactical or a player level block. It's a mental block. You go into matches, we have seen matches like PSG. We have faced Bayern Munich multiple times in previous Champions Leagues. And we have seen that even if we are in the driver's seat, in most occasions, there are one or two instances and we just crumble apart. So I want to see this not happen once in a big match in Champions League. And I want to see that happen with this squad. And Bayern Munich is a perfect team for that. See, they're one of the best squads in Europe right now. They're one of the best teams in Europe right now. They were defeated by Aston Villa last game, so that is possible. So with all the things taken into consideration, they're going to have quite a few misses against Barcelona as well. If I'm not wrong, a lot of Bayern players are going to be missing that match. I think this is a point where Barcelona can pull it off. So as a fan, I would prefer to watch Barcelona beat Bayern Munich. But technically speaking, from a team's point of view, obviously defeating Real Madrid should be the first priority.
Yeah. Okay. Buga, where are you at with things?
To be honest, I don't agree there because I think Real Madrid is, for me, more important. For me, Real Madrid is more important. If I had to pick one game to win, it would be Real Madrid. I think that Bayern Munich and the Champions League, particularly at the stage of where we're at, the format of the competition, things like that, those variables, they're not set on stone. I think it's a little bit of sort of external to what Barcelona might be happening right now. Barcelona might lose to Bayern Munich on Wednesday, but we still may qualify. We still may win everything. That's the best way I can put it. But beating Real Madrid is putting your stamp over the current Champions League holders and literally saying to the world, hey, I can beat the best team. You know, it's not I'm just beating Bayern Munich, I think that if I'm talking to any fan, they're just going to throw to the ring, to the table, hey, it's managed by company. That's literally everything everyone is going to say. So it's Real Madrid, it's Ancelotti, it's Bellingham, it's Mbappe, it's Vinicius, it's Rodrigo, it's Valverde. It's all of these names and you beat them. For me, that's something you can never take away from it. And particularly because the way that Barcelona is playing at the moment, we need this win so much. It takes you further forward in La Liga. It puts that stamp down. And look, I do think there's a world where we can win both games. I think that is possible. So if that happens, that's a 180 for Barcelona fans right there. It will be the best week in a while, in a really, really long time. So I think that Real Madrid, though, if you got me to choose one game, who do you want to win? 3 points against Bayern or 3 points against Real Madrid? For me, it's 3 points against Real Madrid. Like, Of course, it's going to be a pain against Bayern Munich, but one game in the history of the legacy, we've only beat Bayern Munich, I think, 2 times in the total 15 history we've had with them. So what is one more match gonna do? You know, like what one more match gonna do against Real Madrid? They can say the very same thing, but come on, that's our rivals. That's the team we need to win. Think about it. Think about the stakes. Think about not only winning but about losing. What happens if Barcelona loses against Bayern Munich? Yeah, sure, there's gonna be ruckus, but you lose to Real Madrid. Just think about everything that's gonna come down. Players are gonna not have the confidence to continue believing in like they have the best, you know, they're in good form. They're gonna start doubting themselves. Fans are gonna start doubting themselves. We're gonna start thinking we're really not the team that we are supposed to look. The way that we're looking, we should be better. You know, stuff like that. So for me, take the win against Real Madrid. That's my priority at the moment. I think that Flick is prioritizing both games, of course, but if I'm the manager, yeah, I'm going all in for Real Madrid at the Bernabeu.
I am very torn by this. I think what's making me lean the way that I'm leaning is the order of the fixtures. I think because we're playing Bayern first, if we get that win, and let's say it's a hard match, let's say we get the win, but we get beat up a little bit, you know, and there's tired legs going into the weekend. For me, it's more understandable in that situation to drop points against Real Madrid. Not that it's less of a priority, not that it won't sting, not that we can afford to give up those points in La Liga, but I think from the fan perspective, if we get the win against Bayern and then we just kind of run out of steam towards the end of the week, you can use that almost as the scapegoat versus we lose against Bayern and from the viewpoint of the world of football, we haven't progressed at all, which stings a bit. So, but screw the perspectives. Who cares, right? It's about getting the points. Oh, I'm back and forth on it. I really am. If I could only take a win in one, I guess Real Madrid. It would give us a 6-point lead going into the month of November, which is surmountable, of course. But I don't know. I really am back and forth. I guess I'll go for a Clásico win.
See, from the logical side, obviously, El Clásico makes sense. Like there is no debate.
Yeah.
From the logical sense, winning El Clásico, as Buga put it rightly so, it just puts you on that pedestal.
But we haven't beat Bayern Munich in almost 10 years.
As I said, from the emotional point of view, you know, as a fan, we want to see Barcelona do good at a big stage in Champions League against a big opponent. Like that is why I put it in two columns. Like logically, Real Madrid takes all the points. But for me, emotionally, like winning Bayern Munich is very important. And
it
as
is. My
said,
heart and my mind are battling right now.
And as Buga said, there's an alternative universe where we are winning both matches. So I just hope that we are living in that one. I just hope.
Well, let's play this out then. What if we get a draw in both? How are we feeling about things?
I would still take that.
Yeah,
I would appreciate if we don't lose any matches. Not losing is more important.
That is a good way of putting it, actually. I think with how close these fixtures are, it's still early in the Liga season. We still got plenty of matches left in the group stage of Champions League. So, yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Not losing is almost more important than winning in these. Wow, and now that we've said that, Buga, do you think that's going to influence how Hansi approaches these matches at all, kind of playing not to lose?
Nah, I don't think Hansi Flick is that sort of man. Not even manager. no, that sort of man. Like he's not that sort of guy, you know. But I see where you're coming from. Like losing in these games is far more important. Like, dude, I don't know how to say it, but you don't want to lose any of these games because you win less. You have way more things to lose in games like this than actually winning them. Like you get less from winning. So I don't know. I think the best way possible to handle this for Hansi Flick, I'm going to leave it out of the branches. Can you reel me in? What was the question?
Is it okay? Like, what would be your reaction if we get 2 draws from these? And is it
I mean,
more
it's
important to
fine.
not lose versus to win?
I mean, it's fine. It depends on the draws as well. Like if there are both draws in the last few minutes, that's a win. Like,
Yeah.
that's how football works. If it's a loss where they equalize in the last minute, then it's a loss. So I think it's very relative. But it will be okay. Like it would be okay. It would, particularly because, I mean, if you guarantee me the draw against Real Madrid, win against Bayern, that's that's the way I would say about it. Like for me, Real Madrid is the one you cannot lose. Bayern Munich, it's the same thing as well, though. It's a very important game, to be honest, for both of them. It's just insane. My mind keeps going back and forth. It's just too big of a game.
Yeah, for sure. Let us know down in the comments, everybody. What are you thinking about this? Which is a more important match to win? How would you feel if we get a draw in both? What's at stake here? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? We want to hear you down in the comments there. Shall we talk a starting 11 for Barca in this Bayern match? Again, only a few days away. We're playing here on Wednesday, and then the quick turnaround for Saturday.